Hello, lovely people of the universe. I'm Logan, or Shroom Dude Does Art, and today I'm reviewing the Monza 3 pin and drawing with it. So you open up the box, and there's this nice red plastic body. Smelled slightly sweet out of the packaging, and you unscrew it, you can see one of the three nibs already in it, and each of the nibs have a cartridge converter, which I thought was a nice touch. It's super easy to change out. It has a nice clip. It says Monza vs. Monza USA on the cap. And yeah, I just thought overall this was an interesting concept. One pin that can fulfill all of your writing and drawing needs. So I thought I'd try it out. My initial impression was that it looked like a high quality pin, and yeah, and then I started writing with it. I wrote with the fine, and then the medium, and the Omniflex, and the fine wrote okay. I'd say it was probably more like an extra fine, honestly, and it was a tiny bit scratchy, but the line was consistent. It wasn't tearing up my paper. It did what you needed it to do. It wrote lines. That's what pens are for. But it was a little scratchy overall. And then I tried to write with the medium. And as you'll see here in a second, it was not good at all. It was, number one, it was so scratchy, and number two, barely any ink was coming out of it. I tried doing basically everything after realizing that this pen was barely working to get some of those light lines on the page. I was pressing decently hard to get any form of ink flow going. So that was mildly disappointing. I tried flushing it, I tried filling it with more ink, I tried just about everything I could think of, and there were still, it was minimally better. So there's not much you can do about that. I was thinking about maybe trying to go in and do some tuning on it, maybe trying to spread the tines a bit more to see if that would fix the ink flow problem, because I do think overall it probably is at the end of the day that the ink isn't flowing enough from it. But yeah, that was kind of, a letdown, because I thought the rest of the nibs worked as good as the fine did, then it would have been a pretty nice pen. I would have been pretty happy. But the medium, I was having to push so hard to get any ink flow. I was trying to fill it up and empty it, and it just was not happening. This pen was not having it. But then I tried the Omniflex nib, and I was pretty happy with that. I would not call this a flex nib, however. It's not a ton of variation. And obviously it's a steel nib, so steel nibs are generally not very flexible. But this pin wrote really nice. The Omniflex nib wrote super nice. There was really good ink flow. It wrote wet, but not like too wet that you would smudge your fingers and all over yourself. So that was nice. Just kind of started drawing with the fine-tipped nib here. Decided to do a drawing with each of the nibs, or at least attempt a drawing with each of the nibs. And yeah, I just started kind of been into drawing interesting, weird, alien-looking people lately, so that's what I drew. And the fine nib was writing pretty well. I didn't have any issues while drawing with it at all. And overall, I'd say it was a satisfying drawing experience. It made me want to write with this pen nib. And then the Omniflex, I definitely enjoyed writing with. It had super, it just, the Omniflex nib wrote in a way that, like, it made me want to draw more. It was definitely my favorite of the three nibs. So, just continuing the theme of the birthday party aliens, and you got kind of the roller skater rink carpet going on. And then I tried doing a drawing with the medium nib because I didn't want to completely write it off. I wanted to say, maybe it just needs to warm up some. Maybe it just needs, to be worked in a little bit. But this just was not satisfying to write with at all. Every line was kind of a struggle. So I did a very quick drawing. And then I wanted to write some more with this pen. So I wrote with the Omniflex nib, and I just started on a page I had previously kind of abandoned in my other sketchbook. I came back to it. Sometimes that's what your drawings need, just to come back to them later. And that's what I did. I came back to it, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I do think maybe later I'll add a colored wash in the white part of the background of that last drawing, just because the white background is a little boring. I don't really know how to end a YouTube video, so bye.